Hi, my name is Nick, and I'm going to talk about my family's trip to Disneyland, okay? And it's kind of important, especially if you're a resident of Southern California, if you're a parent, or if you have kids. At some point, you're going to have to take your kids to Disneyland, okay? And if you're like myself and you don't care too much about giving your money to major corporations, or you kind of cringe when you do, you might appreciate this, okay? I'm going to talk about a few things here. I'm going to talk about why I think Disneyland's a ripoff. I'm going to talk about my experience at Disneyland, and I'm going to talk about what changed my mind on the whole situation here, okay? So I always thought Disneyland was a scam, all right? It's about $100 a person to get in, and which is about twice as expensive as any other theme park here in Southern California, including Knott's and including the Six Flags. So, and that's not even taking into consideration, food, gas, memorabilia, and gifts, parking, what have you. It all adds up fairly quick. And, I come from a very poor background, so I kind of always thought it was out of my range, okay? But my wife and my kids, they have been asking me to go for about 2 years, and I was constantly saying no, and eventually I gave in because I was presented with an ultimatum, and the ultimatum was, look, we have the money to go, and we're gonna go with or without you. And my whole attitude was a little bit upset at the time, and it changed to like, oh, hell no. You're not gonna go and spend all that money without me. So it was very interesting, and I finally got on their squad, and we go there, and as soon as you walk through the gates, you see the statue of Mickey and Walt Disney, and it's very iconic because you kind of see about how all these things got started. And you're standing there on Main Street, USA, looking around, and it looks like every other Main Street you've ever been to, except for this one is just immaculate. This is exactly how you would want it to look, okay? So you see the amount of money that's poured in through all this place, the attention to detail that they have. And it's like that throughout the entire theme park. You see that in Tomorrowland, Adventureland, Fantasyland, and the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. It's incredible. It really is. They do a great job. But I still wasn't completely sold on it yet, and it wasn't until we went to Fantasyland. And Fantasyland is where you get to meet your favorite Disney characters, especially your Disney princesses. And this was just huge for my daughter, all right? So she finally gets to meet Elsa, Anna, Ariel, and Cinderella. And she's not the shy type, she's very open, but when she meets them, she's starstruck. She's absolutely floored by these characters, because she has experienced so many things with these characters and their stories. She's laughed, she's cried, she's experienced everything that they have gone through right alongside with them. And it's kind of like a magic trick, because it actually made my daughter believe that fantasy was reality. And right then and there, I'm watching this develop, and I kind of look around, and I knew that, yeah, this is kind of worth it. This is incredible right here. So right then and there is when I felt sold on the situation. So that really changed my mind. So as I've learned, if you're a parent, if you have kids, you might have to make this financial sacrifice. Take your kids out, spoil them a little bit. You can even use it as a tool of obedience, okay? You can always tell them, look, you ain't gonna go to Disneyland if you keep acting like that. I mean, with my kids, it works every time. It'll probably do the same for yours, okay? Well, that's my vacation story. All right, take it easy. Bye.